If you've been following my show, you know that I like GPT-3 AI technology. On today's show, I'm going to review another website that promises to write things for you. Let's see what they can do.
It's the Joe Show.
Today's technology is called HelpHub.io. It promises to help you write content. Let's find out if it's up to the task. Here I am on the homepage of HelpHub.io. I just signed up for an account. It says I need to make a site name, so let's just name it something. GoGo Joe Show. I'll keep it consistent as I've done this in the past with other ones. I've always used this show as a generation medium, so let's use it as this. It says, welcome to HelpHub. Start with a section. Articles live inside of sections, which you can think of as folders. Create sections to get started. Then create an article. Articles are the content of the site that we're trying to create here. Create an article and publish it to see it live on our site. So it's actually making a site. Finally, customize your site's look. Add a logo, change your color scheme, etc. So this is actually making some sort of website or landing page for the GoGo Joe Show. So let's create a section, and then in that section we'll create an article. Pretty straightforward here so far. Section name will be Technology Tuesday. Icon, font awesome. What looks like a good technology icon here? I'm overwhelmed. No, maybe I don't like those. They look exactly the same. Let's do a... I'm really not seeing anything related to technology here. But this feels like a big step. What icon am I going to choose? Will it affect the AI at all? Fire, even though it doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, create the section. Let's use it. Fire. Icon. Visible on site is false so far. Articles. No new article created. Let's create a new article. This is where my content is going to live. The section is called Technology Tuesday. The title of this article is entitled Content Generation Using GPT-3. Okay, so the content in 2020, Open AI unveiled GPT-3, a massive, I didn't spell that right, a massive library of I don't even know what they're called, of a library of data points, billions in fact. It has. And then I see down here we have an AI article writer. So I'm going to give it a little something, and let's click here on AI article writer and see what happens. So here's our AI article writer. Each time I click write or rewrite article button, I will use a request for my monthly quota. If I'm not happy with the output, I can keep running the generator until I get something I like. I have to try playing around with the wording of my article. The content it writes is usually a great starting point, but we recommend carefully reading and editing the output. It's not perfect. So company name here, GoGo Joe Show. Article title, using at least one key point to be covered in the article. How GPT-3 generates content using do I want to call it AI, artificial intelligence, or using AI to write an article. Let's see here, one more. How GPT-3 is trained to write content. So let's write the article. Let's see how this goes. So far, this has actually been very simple. It's been less than 3 minutes, I think, and I'm already getting into AI generation here. I just have 74 of 77 generations. So I've used 1% of my generations here, and here is the article. Let's see how this goes. GPT-3 uses AI to generate content, possibly one of the most powerful techniques for content generation. It can be trained to write in English, to write in any language, or to simply write random text. The AI is not limited only to text. It can be trained to generate images and videos as well. So far, it's a pretty good first paragraph, kind of giving us a little intro into GPT-3 here. The GPT-3 AI can be configured to generate a single piece of content or a set of multiple pieces of content. The AI can also be configured to generate random content or a set of random pieces of content. So then this is getting not as good. It just rephrased the very first sentence in the second paragraph, again in a different way, just saying the exact same thing. And then it goes on to say, you can also use GPT-3 API to create new content that is based on existing content that I generated. It says here, it continues on, you can also use the GPT-3 API to create new content that is based on your existing content. I think that's the same exact sentence. It just started the next paragraph with the same sentence that it ended the last paragraph with. This is actually something I'm seeing over and over again with GPT-3, is that it starts out very promising in like the first two sentences and then quickly devolves into like, this is not that great. I'm gonna have to rewrite a lot of it. But the very first generation, the first couple sentences always gets me really excited. I'm like, oh, it did a super good job. And then I'm like, you can have a treat, but this is not exactly what I wanted you to do. So far, this article was okay, but it didn't really focus on how GPT-3 generates content. So I'm gonna remove this, and I'm gonna remove this. So now instead we have our key points to be GPT-3 generates content and using AI to write an article. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of GPT-3 because it tended to focus on that. So I'm gonna say using AI to write an article, and I'm gonna rewrite it. Okay. What it says now about content generation using GPT-3, using AI to write an article. It says, when you want dependable strength, you need a dependable tool. At GoGo Joe Show, we stand behind our products. Browse our easy-to-use catalog and order your next tool today. Well, so far, it has nothing to do with what the article title is, and also, I'm not a catalog. GoGo Joe Show is proud to introduce GPT-3, a machine learning technology that allows content generation using AI. GPT-3 builds upon the proven successes of previous generations of GPTs by combining advances in machine learning and artificial intelligence to provide improved accuracy, speed, and quality. So it thinks that I'm trying to sell something now, some sort of tool, and I like that it also picked up on the third iteration, and it mentioned that this is the third GPT. The other GPTs have been built upon to reach the GPT-3. Yeah, this is definitely not what we're looking for here. So let me add back in how GPT-3 generates content, rewrite the article again, click OK, see what we get this time. Content generation using GPT-3. Now we've got a little title here. GPT-3 is a tool for writing content that uses artificial intelligence as the source of the text. This article will explain how it works and how to get started. There we go. Now it's actually giving me something a little bit better. The GPT-3 installation consists of a number of files mainly located in your blah 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 folder. To begin with, you'll need to install Python and NumPy on your computer. Once they have been installed, both packages can be installed by downloading from URL. Once you have both files downloaded, you can extract them. Once you've done so, you should have two folders named NumPy and Python in your downloads folder. So this article has now actually given us a tutorial on how to use GPT-3, which is really interesting. But it's a little too specific on how to actually install GPT-3 on your computer, and I'm not actually sure if this is how it works. It's walking us through like installing Python actually. I think the very first article that we put in was probably the best for the content generation of using GPT-3 article, but it kept rephrasing itself over and over again, which, as I mentioned, is something that GPT-3 does quite often. That's been HelpHub. It's actually a pretty easy to use tool to generate content. However, now that I'm using more and more of these websites to do this content generation, I'm kind of seeing that they all operate relatively the same. We have another video, Copysmith versus Snazzy.ai, which does similar things. And the content that they generated was kind of similar to what I'm getting here. I still think Copysmith did it the best, and I was the most delighted with the results. But this one is also pretty nice as well, and I like how quick it is and how much flexibility it gave me to put in different keywords and actually use strings of words instead of just specific keywords. I could use a whole sentence here. So that is, that's HelpHub. Use it to write articles. It looks like you can get 75 free generations per month. And you can actually check it out by clicking the link in the description below. That's it for today's Joe Show, Technology Tuesday. If you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button and mash that bell. Send me to a friend. Or if you're running HelpHub, give me a shout out. Until next time, you know what. I love you.